Shalom. All praises, honor, glory, and blessings and power be unto. Salaki, let me say that again. All praises, honor, glory, blessings, and power be unto Abanawa Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Korash, Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai, Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai, Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and hearty shalom to the prophets of that body. Okay, these are the men of the Lord. All right, in the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. I saw a statement this morning, and as you search through YouTube, the world of YouTube, and I saw an excellent statement. And fortunately, it was on a Jake channel, which is spiritual, because Jake is always about perseverance, because we persevere. And, all these things sometimes come together. And I know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, most of the hopeful elect are watching the same programs, the same stand-up comedians, the same movies, more or less. I was watching, I've made videos about this before, the fact that why Jake is not into horror movies and scary movies like that. It's because our whole time in America and other captivities, but America's been the most worst, since this was the one where we didn't know who the hell we were, right? Until after that 3.5 day period, after about 350 years, right? So America's been a big ass horror movie, and our people across the world, wherever we're scattered, the lynchings, being murdered by Edomites, and then our flesh being used to make jackets and wallets and shoes, having our flesh eaten by these Edomites. The Edomites are the so-called white man. Having our loins cut off after we've been lynched, right? Being raped by Edomite men in front of other Israelites. Having our children used as alligator bait by Edomites, the so-called white man, and heathen nations. They were doing the same thing in Egypt by these damn Hamites, right? Being dragged by pickup trucks in modern day times until the whole body would be there attached to the bumper of the pickup truck or the vehicle and dragged around everywhere until you look at the back of the truck. The only thing that's left there is probably maybe an arm hanging, and that's been ripped off the rest of the body, right? And I don't want to keep going into the amounts of atrocities. We know there's a heck of a lot more. Because if I start talking more about the children and things like that, I get a little emotional and get a little real angry. I find it hard to watch slave movies sometimes because I get so vexed. And I want to delete Edomites. But that's just the anger against Esau, which we're supposed to have. But we control it. I'm just being honest. I'm not being over emotional. I'm just being honest. With these kinds of things, when you see your people in pain like that, it hurts. I love watching Django, by the way. Django gets down. But nevertheless, this whole atrocity of being in America, Europe, wherever we are, but especially Ground Zero America, has been one horror movie. That's why we Israelites don't like to bungee jump. We don't like to jump out airplanes. We don't like to go deep sea diving. We don't like to watch horror movies. We don't like to do all those crazy things that Edomites like to do, because this is their heaven. They're comfortable. They have everything given to them. Everything's hunky-dory for them. Well, some of them right now. 40 years ago, everybody had it hunky-dory, these Edomites. A lot of them are getting there, as they say, they're just desserts right now. They're going to get it even more very soon, because they're going to drink up those dregs of that cup. They're going to get it double than what we got, right? They're going to get double compared to what we got. They're going to get it worse, right? Because their heaven is coming to a close. Their rulership is coming to a close. Okay? Now, the pain that we've received, even you hopeful elect members that do get pain, and go through certain things on a daily basis. But remember one thing as well, right? Even the prophet, I call him an elder. He may not call himself an elder, but I call him elder. Everyone's an elder to me. And so I have sheer respect whether these brothers call themselves elders or not. I think they're great millstone affiliates, if I can use that term. Yeah. Same to Jersey. I think it's an Ephraim, my elder. Ephraim, my brother. What did he say? Yeah, he said the hopeful elect are getting stronger, right? Spiritually, right? And in certain cases, if you got like certain ailments, like most of the hopeful elect do to a certain degree, right? You're getting better, but you're still handling yourself. You're in a better position. You're still going through the, you know, the multiple hurdles that you're going to jump through on a daily basis. When you get through the day, you think to yourself, Rakti Habashim for getting me through it, you know, and covering me with your wings, you know, especially if you're at work and you're trying to make a video because the Lord is on your mind, which the Lord should be. The Lord covers you. Man. But anyway, so the pain that we received, we are getting stronger. The pain wasn't sent to break you, but to build you. The saying, the pain wasn't sent to break you, but to build you, emphasizes that hardship and suffering can be a catalyst for personal growth and resilience. It suggests that challenges, while difficult, can ultimately lead to strength, wisdom, and a more profound understanding of oneself and one's purpose. Right? You find out what your purpose is, especially when you're in this truth. All right? It's only to make you persevere, make you learn from right from wrong, you know? So you can be a person that can be a good judge. Learning right from wrong is part of wisdom, is it not? All right? Do you not give game sometimes to your younger brother or your younger cousins or anyone childlike maybe around you because you've gone through it? That's how the elect are going to give, are going to be judges in the kingdom, whoever they are. All right? So the pain wasn't sent to break you, but to build you. All right? To build you up. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus or Sirach. Let's go to the 2 and 5. Ecclesiasticus 2 and 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. The Lord deems you acceptable. All right? But I'm going to go to the Good News Translation. I like the way it's broken down here. All right? Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 2. Okay? 2 verse 1. My child, if you are going to serve the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yashai, be prepared for times when you will be put to the test. Verse 2. Be sincere and determined. Keep calm when trouble comes. Verse 3. Stay with the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yashai. Never abandon him, and you will be prosperous at the end of your days. Verse 4. Accept whatever happens to you, even if you suffer humiliation, or even if you suffer humiliation, before honor comes humility, right? No, before honor, comes humility. That's the same, right? Before honor comes humility. Accept for whatever happens to you, even if you suffer humiliation. Be patient. Verse 5. Gold is tested by fire, and Israelite character, and human character is tested in the furnace of humiliation. Verse 6. Trust the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yashai, and he will help you. Walk straight in his ways, and put your hope in him. All right? Cast your burdens on Yahweh B'Shem Yashai, he shall not suffer the righteous to be moved. Cast all your cares upon him because he cares for you. Paraphrase the two scriptures. Verse 7. All you that fear the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai, wait for him to show you his mercy. Do not turn away from him, or you will fall. Verse 8. All you that fear the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai, trust him, and you will certainly be rewarded. Verse 9. All you that fear the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai, look forward to his blessings of mercy and eternal happiness. Verse 10. Think back to the ancient generations and consider this. Has the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai ever disappointed anyone who put his hope in him? That anyone can't be anyone, it's got to be an Israelite. All right? Has the Lord disappointed anyone who put his hope in him? Has the Lord ever abandoned anyone who held him in constant reverence? Has the Lord ever ignored anyone who prayed to him? The Lord is kind and merciful. He forgives our sins and keeps us safe in time of trouble. Okay? Excellent breakdown, isn't it? In the GNT. And good news it is. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right? And what does Jake always call each other in especially in the hood? The rest of the tribes follow Judah. Judah comes out with a slang, from the streets of New York and America, from Jamaica. It hits the streets of London and it travels through all the boroughs here in London where Jake is and the Israelite foreigners are. We mix it up with our own languages. Like me being an Israelite foreigner from northern India, now we use our own slang, right? And then we combine a little patois with it as well because of heavy Benjamite influence. But they're our brothers. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And what does Jake always call each other? Hey, soldier. All right? So the scriptures are written by Jake for Jake, man. All right? Let's go to this New Living Translation. 2 Timothy 2, verses 3 and 4. Endure suffering along with me as good soldier of Hamashiach Yahushua. Verse 4. Soldiers don't get tied up in the affairs of civilian life, for then they cannot please the officer who enlisted them. Right? Let's go to King James Version. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Hamashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. And that doesn't mean, right, you leave your household with your wife and children behind, or your elderly mother that you might be a caretaker for. And there's nothing wrong with reverencing your parents and taking care of your family, man, especially if they're old. You're the eldest son, you got to do that. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a practice amongst Jakes from the East a lot. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, but the thing is, you put Yahweh Hashem Shai first in every single way. All right, you don't. I'll give you an example. You got a party on a Saturday evening. You've been invited. Now, there's nothing wrong with going to a party if somebody's invited you. Hey, the way Jake looks at it is some free booze and some nice food. All right, nothing wrong with that. And maybe some lovely ladies there. You never know. But nevertheless, it's all about you get out of the house. You get something to eat and drink. Nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, right? You don't say to yourself, "Oh, I want to do some reading, and I haven't read my chapter today or 2 chapters, or however you do it, because we're all quite busy back to back. But you always make time for the Lord. All right? You can't read 5 chapters that day. Just read a chapter. All right? You can't delay the party or whatever you got to do for 20 minutes. Read the scriptures. Do it. You're going to feel better. Do your prayers. All right? Do your lesson, no matter how much knowledge you got. All right? I'm not the most best speaker, the most knowledgeable person, but I believe in Yahweh Hashem Shai. I believe in this truth. My videos are probably whacked to the rest of the world, but I still do it because I'm compelled to do so. And I'm not saying I'm anybody special. I'm not. I'm nobody, man. You know. All right. So what you do is, in your day-to-day life with your family and everything, you take care of your responsibilities, of course, but you don't go above and beyond when you're supposed to be going above and beyond for the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shai. You take care of your family, you make sure they're good, you love them, you take care of them, good. But, right, you do everything in order priority. You see Yahweh Shema Shai first and then your family. All right? You see Yahweh Shema Shai first and everything else. Okay? Because it's Yahweh Shema Shai that gives you your family, your job, all right? Whatever it is. Okay? The Lord understands we're in the flesh and we're busy back to back. We've got to earn our daily bread. The Lord understands that. If you don't have time to pray in the morning, face to the east, you're in a rush, you wake up late because Jake is tired. It's okay. Get yourself together, pray in your mind, do the Lord's Prayer quickly, face to the east. And any other prayers you want to do, you do them in the car as you're driving out. Or as you're walking to the station or bus stop or whatever. What I'm saying is try and pray to the Lord that your life gets organized in a way. It's going to be still busy, right? You're going to still feel like, whoa, the day gone. Another day gone, another day close to the kingdom. But the Lord will make it happen in a way where everything comes together, man, like a jigsaw puzzle. All right? That's if, you got to really put all your, as I say, put all your eggs in one basket. There is no plan B, man. See, how about Shema first? You got to love the Lord with all thine heart. All right? Pray without ceasing, man. Okay? And you're going to be put through the ringer, man. You're going to be put through all these things. You're going to be going through situation after situation, worry after worry. All right? But that's where prayer comes in. And the angels are just working in the background. You can't see them. Sometimes you can. Right? But they'll be working in the background, alleviating that issue for you because you put all your energy in asking the Yahweh Shema Shai to alleviate the situation for you. All right? So the Lord puts you through these things, and the Lord is only going to put so much on you that you can handle. All right? Some of us have been in situations thinking, man, how am I going to get through the week? Where am I going to be a week today? All these things because you're going through certain things or whatever. And then lo and behold, you face it. They make their face hard. You make your face harder or whatever. Right? You pray before you leave the house. You go there with faith and confidence. But flesh sometimes has like a little bit of as I say, butterflies in the stomach or whatever. But that's the flesh, but the spirit is convicted. You deal with it, and lo and behold, you think to yourself 24 to 48 hours later, oh, the Lord for remedying that situation for me. The Lord won't put on you no more than you can handle. Right? Paraphrasing scripture there. All right, the Lord is not doing this to destroy you. Okay, He's doing it to build you up. To build you up. Let's go to that scripture. The Lord is not doing no more. I've got to paraphrase it so I can find it. Okay. The Lord won't put more on you than you can handle. King James Version. That's the Lord willing to. 1 Corinthians 10:13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. Suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape that ye may be able to bear it. They have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Okay, so the Lord Yahweh Shemashah will always give you a way to escape from the situation. It's like being, in a room with no gateway, no doorway. and an angel appears and there's a door, opens a door for you, and you walk right through it. Same situation, man. How about Shemashah will get you out of it every time. All right? All right? But you sometimes people forget that the Lord is immensely powerful. The Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, created heaven and earth and everything in it, man. And you people, man, try and put limits on Yahweh Shemashah. Fuck that movie, Limitless. You know? Yahweh Shemashah is limitless. Infinity, infinite. All right? Second Corinthians 1 and 4. Who comforteth us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble, by the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of the Most High. All right? Who comforts us in our tribulation? Yahweh Shemashai. You know? We get comforted, you know, as I say, each one teach one, then, you know, next man is in any kind of situation, and if they've got some kind of spiritual intellect, you just say to them, man, just you know, if they're not in the truth, you say, man, just leave it to, you use the word God. You say, leave it to God, leave it to the Most High. The Lord will take care of it, you know? The Creator will take care of it. All right? So let's get back to that statement again. And pain wasn't sent to break you, but to build you. Okay? And why do you need to be built up? Are we not coming to some serious times? Are we not watching videos of our prophets, elders and prophets making videos and showing these little snippets from TikTok and other places where a lot of Israelites, right, are proving this wacky-tacky Christian world wrong in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. All right, we're seeing Jake come back from the heavens to spiritual realm, coming back saying that his name is Avir, right, which I believe is a Hebrew name. A young light-skinned Jake, little sweet lad, you know what I mean? Must be about, I don't know, 7, 8 years old, little baby. Well, not baby, you know what I mean, he's a young lad. Those of you that are fathers, you know what I mean. You always, you know, get a little soft when we see little beautiful Israelite children, you know. All right? That little Jake, he came back, you know. And then we see, you know, hell ain't real, you know. And then also all these people making videos about hell breaking loose in America, you know. World War III, you know, World War III breaking out in America and simultaneously in Europe, and hell breaking loose in Europe as well. You know, racist groups that are making contact with each other in America and Europe and the UK, and they're all training right now. So if you see a group of honkies in any kind of park exercising or, you know, learning how to box or whatever, or learning how to kick or whatever, you know, and they're doing push-ups and shit, guaranteed it's for that. They're not army. They're getting ready for the race horse, while you Jakes are growing your dreads, right? Not pushing, not benching, not doing no press-ups, not hitting the bag, you know? At least learn your basic jab and cross punch, and, you know, learn to knee and kick and headbutt. You know, learn your elbows, right? But most importantly is prayer, right? Jacob's Trouble, World War III, the Charagma, okay? You think the Edomites make all these movies for fun? Oh, let's make a movie about dystopian future in America. No, I used to always think that as a youngster. I said, man, why do they keep showing America being destroyed? Why do they keep showing America in these kind of situations? Then I saw a movie once set in England where the water in Scotland rose high or something and England was underwater, which was some crazy fucking movie. But, you know, that just goes to show that things are going to happen everywhere. All right? Things are going to happen everywhere. I used to always think that why America's always being destroyed. Now I know it's fucking Babylon. It's new Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. It's new Egypt. All right? But then there's also a plus side where all these things breaking loose and happening, the elect are going to get that spiritual power. There's another side to the coin, man. All right? Or the Karagma and all these things, World War III, Jacob's trouble, all these things happening. You think the Lord is going to leave you defenseless? The Lord is going to ignite, send that beam of light. The Lord is going to ignite the elect, man. They're going to get that power. You're not going to get the complete change yet, but some of them are going to be healed from issues, and they're going to be healed in certain ways that they've been hoping to be healed. And they're going to get power too. Why? To protect themselves, to protect their families, and to protect other Israelites, and to delete the enemy. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashai, to guide, and also to protect your women too. All right, because they're gonna have a lot of wives. All right, and maybe concubines too, but but they're going to be protected, so they can be guided all the way to the point where the chariot comes above them and beams them up. All right, so you're going to need this building up, this process you have to go through. You got to trust the process. You got to trust the process. All right, so you can be the best version of yourself before you are beamed up. So you are worthy of that new body. So you are actually trying. You've put down the cigarettes, the weed, the fucked up thoughts of having two women together in the bed. Jake used to think that nonsense back in the day. Man, I want two women at the same time. We're men, right? We love women, and you know how it goes. Obviously, you're not gonna do that shit. You get rid of these old ways, man. Stop eating the pork. I stopped eating the pork. I never ate no shrimp, crab, lobster, all that bullshit anyway. Or camel and that nonsense. And you put down these things, man. You change. And your mindset has to change too. So the pain wasn't sent to break you, but to build you. All right? In the times to come, which are coming very soon and fast, we're going to need this build-up. So we can, as I say, put on the whole armor of Yahweh Hashem Shai. We need to put on the whole armor, man, so we're protected in the times to come. All right? All right. All right, that's that. I'm going to say shalom and all praises to Yahweh Hashem Shai, Hashem Kakadash. And we are approaching August, month 8. Yeah, Lord willing, this month takes off. And another great news as well, man. What about that chariot, man, that's been spotted? The fathership, And all these MFers are scared. News outlets are saying, they're going to attack in November 2025. Hey, man, Lord willing, I hope so. But we'll see. Remember, everything's in the hands of Yahweh Hashem Shai. Not some 2-bit journalist is going to know that, the Lord's going to attack that day. Come on. All right? But anyway, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Shai, Hashem Kakadash, Mu'atabad Babal, Kwam Yashra Shalom.